Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending March 26, 2021. Facebook is developing an Instagram app for kids under 13. Shortly after BuzzFeed News reported that an internal memo at Instagram announced plans for a kids version of the platform, a spokesperson for parent company Facebook confirmed the rumor to The Independent. Right now, there aren't many options for parents, so we're working on building additional products that are suitable for kids, managed by parents, the spokesperson said. Currently, children under 13 are forbidden to use the main Instagram app. The company has not yet shared a detailed plan of how the children's version will work, but the spokesperson added, "We're exploring bringing a parent-controlled experience to Instagram to help kids keep up with their friends, discover new hobbies and interests, and more." Avast security evangelist Louis Carones agrees that the younger crowd is clamoring to jump into the social app. Even if they aren't allowed to be there, they will find a way, he said. Having tools of parents to control what they do there is better than not having anything at all, like nowadays. In any case, it is crucial that parents have open communications about the topic with their children and that they explain the dangers of the platform. On a personal note, if you can't control it, is making it legal really the answer? Acer hit by $50 million ransom attack. Malicious hacker gang REvil has compromised Acer with ransomware, demanding a $50 million payment to decrypt the computer's giant's files. The compromised documents include financial spreadsheets, bank balances, and banking communications. The cybercriminals may have capitalized on the recent Microsoft Exchange server exploits to gain access to the Taiwanese electronic maker, according to Bleeping Computer, which first reported the news on Friday. This $50 million ransom demand is the largest publicly known request to date. Acer has not officially confirmed the attack, but told Bleeping Computer it reported recent abnormal situations to the relevant authorities. REvil, a ransomware group believed to operate out of Russia, published images of stolen files on Thursday as proof of its attack. It reportedly offered Acer a 20% discount on the ransom fee if it paid up by the 17th of March, a tactic commonly employed by ransomware gangs. In 2020, Acer reported gross annual profits of Taiwanese $30.12 billion, which is $1.6 billion. Ransomware gangs are known to tailor their demands based on the size of a company to maximize the chance of payout, as well as increase the size of profits. It is unclear whether Acer has or intends to pay the ransom fee. Verdict has contacted Acer for comment but did not receive a reply at the time of publication. Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet sells for $2.9 million. In an online auction hosted on Valuables, a Malaysian-based buyer named Sina Estevi bought Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet for $2.9 million. Dorsey, who received 95% of the sale, said he was giving the proceeds to Give Directly's Africa Response Fund. The tweet was sold as a non-fungible token, which is a unique digital certificate that verifies the tweet as a digital artifact and Estevi as its owner. Dorsey's first tweet read, "Just setting up my Twitter." Regarding this purchase, Estevi tweeted, "This is not just a tweet. I think years later people will realize the true value of this tweet. Like the Mona Lisa painting." Read more on BBC News. Guaranteed, if this were my first tweet, it wouldn't raise a plug nickel. Facebook engages with Outrage. In an MIT Tech Review article that focused on the efforts of Facebook AI director Joaquin Quinonero, the author claims she learned that any attempt at staunching the flow of misinformation and otherwise discouraging extremism on Facebook is met with opposition internally because users' outrage increases engagement. The author notes that CEO Mark Zuckerberg's single motivation is unending growth, and as such, anything that hampers that growth goes against the grain of the company's culture. Quinonero is a leading figure on the company's responsible AI team, but the team's focus seems to be squelching AI-based and not adjusting algorithms to snuff out extremism and misinformation. U.S. shoppers can now buy a Tesla with a Bitcoin. You can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, CEO Elon Musk tweeted this week, noting in a follow-up tweet that the purchase capability will be available outside the U.S. later this year. The company has also invested $1.5 billion into the cryptocurrency, which sent the price of Bitcoin to an all-time high of $56,000. Tesla terms and conditions caution customers to be very careful when conducting a Bitcoin transaction, noting in all caps that Bitcoin transaction cannot be reversed, and if you input the Bitcoin address incorrectly, your Bitcoin may be irretrievably lost or destroyed. For more, see The Verge. The FBI claims that cybercrime complaints are up. The FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center receives nearly 800,000 complaints about cybercrime last year, more than two-thirds of a jump from what was seen in 2019. About a third of these complaints are from phishing attacks. The report summarizes data submitted by the general public and businesses on its website portal and is produced each year. Over $4 billion in losses attributable to these complaints was calculated, the most ever for what has been seen in one of these reports. The biggest takeaway for business owners is that half of these losses are caused by business email compromised attacks. That means a criminal impersonated one of your executives' email accounts and got a victim to send them money. Typically, the funds are sent to a bank account controlled by the attacker in the guise of paying for what appeared to be a legitimate business invoice. Fighting this fraud isn't hard. You just have to be careful, and you should employ multiple-factor authentication and have multiple signatories for payment processing. If your accounts are compromised, contact your bank immediately and file a complaint with the IC3, including your banking information. Also, never make any payment account charges without first verifying them with the recipient, says the FBI in its report. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.